Well, guys, my dream and goal, and didn't Susan do an amazing job? I'm fighting back tears myself. My goal when I started at Jeunesse was come out of retirement to find something unique, find something amazing, find something that had never happened before, and I found that. And most of you know me pretty well, and I'm going to give you just a real quick, 2-minute run through of 1 year as a network marketer. A global focus. I'm travelling around the world, any type of airline, building a team of diamonds, not only the ones that are really close to me, but I think there's about 15 or so diamonds in my group altogether, juggling and balancing family, and having incredible holidays and fun times, all around the world, embracing this compensation plan, not only maxing it out, but doing it a couple of times over. Building a business in just 4 years that now puts me at number 21 on the Business for Home list globally. Finally sold the old Peugeot, my $5,000 car, and bought a better one. Decided to move into a dream home, just bumping into a house that had an open house one Sunday, and we went a bit crazy at the auction. And deciding to also set new goals. And that's a little bit about what my goals are in a nutshell of what I want to achieve. I don't need to build this business anymore. I've never had a loan, I've never had a mortgage, I've never had an unpaid credit card bill, all because of this industry. And this is me every single morning when I get up out of bed. I think I'm the absolute luckiest guy living on this planet, but I know it was something of my choosing. Now, guys, I want you to know that I'm not the best network marketer going around, although Aaron and Craig are convinced I am. But I was a slow learner, guys. And for 10 years, I was like every other person here in the audience that is struggling, that maybe doesn't totally get it, that maybe is not reaching the goals and dreams that they had. But what made me one of the luckiest network marketers going around was that I had a mentor. I had someone, and many of you have heard this story, that had showed me over a 10-year period what could be achieved. See, when I was young, everyone's got hard luck stories. Everyone's got life challenges. For me, I had a father who died when I was quite young, but I had a most incredible mum that decided that she would fight for her family. She had 3 young kids, that she was going to do everything to give them the best in life. This industry became her solution. And I watched her over 10 years, and she taught me and showed me what to do. She would teach me the power of one single relationship, like someone like Susan. So I want to welcome onto the stage my mentor, Mum. Come on, Mum. You come out too. Come on. You come out too. How are you? We've done a few meetings together, haven't we, over the years, Mum? We have. This lady, I've done more meetings, travelled to more conventions, driven more miles in cars than I can count. And the amount of wisdom that my mum has taught me is incredible. Sometimes, she would turn up to meetings. 2 or 3 people would turn up. Anyone had that happen before? And she would say, you know what? That's the very meeting that I'm determined to do the best meeting that I've ever done. Because I might have one great person in that meeting that's going to pay forward my message, to thousands and thousands of people. Sadly for my mum, she developed Alzheimer's a few years ago. That picture that we have on the stage, that's probably about 10, 15 years ago. And for 17 years, we worked together. It was a pretty unique mother and son team. We got David and Angela Johnson here in the room. Where's David and Angela? Can you stand up? Everyone turn around and see these guys over there. That's David and Angela Johnson. They have been at the absolute top, #1 distributors of my very first network marketing company. And so when Mum and I are building, sadly, we were #2. They were #1. We could never quite catch them. But I know that David and Angela can acknowledge how incredible my mum was and the lessons that she taught me and the amount of people that she's really made a difference to. So, Mum, I thank you for everything. And I'll never stop what I'm doing. I love you. And even though people out there may not realise it, probably this event today wasn't going to happen if it wasn't for you. So guys, let's give my mum a big round of applause. Thank you for everything, Mum. You okay? You know, it's terrible, the irony of life sometimes. My mum's a clinical nutritionist. And it's sad that for someone that's physically so well and so healthy, that she's developed a disease that has taken from her probably the greatest thing that can be taken from you. You know, your mind. My mum made me promise me one day, never let me go into a home if that time comes. Because of this industry and what she's taught me, we have a team of carers around the clock that keep my mum in her own home, living in her own environment, although tomorrow she's probably going to forget what happened today. I'm always going to honour what she has done for me and my family and the impact that she's made on so many people around the world. So guys, I'm going to try and pull myself together and I want to tell you and show you why it's worth maintaining your course of action to develop and build something great in this industry. Sure, it's hard. Sure, it's difficult. Is it worth it? If I turned back the time in my life and made the decision not to follow through in what I'd learned about this industry, my mind boggles with how different my life would be if decisions were a little bit different. And I sometimes get a little bit impatient and a little bit frustrated with people that quit at the smallest little hurdle. Some of the excuses that I hear from people at times just make me physically want to throw up right there. That's my response. Life is difficult, but we have something that can put the power back into your hands, back into your, giving you the ability to be able to be that master of your own future. And guys, it is worth it. It is working hard. You know, my mum started in the 70s when it was really tough. There was none of the tools and things that we have today. So be professional, guys, and believe. Don't just come along to one of these events just to have a bit of a fun time, but not take something home that's going to make you better and the people around you better. You know, it's your actions that are going to define you, nothing else. There is nothing more powerful for you being successful in this industry than you and what you're prepared, to achieve. Guys, the first thing that you've got to have is certainty. That was probably one of the first lessons that my mum taught me. It didn't matter what was going wrong, what the challenges were, what the Aussie dollar was compared to the US. It didn't matter what challenge there was. My mum would always remain the the same. Her course of action, the way she conducted herself, her attitude, her level of positivity would never, ever change regardless of outside interference. You know, human beings, we're so reactive. You know, we're good on a good day, but we're ordinary on a bad day. You know, the key is, can you be good on a bad day? That's one of the differences with you being successful. You've got to have vision. You've got to be like Susan and seeing that end in sight. You've got to have 100% unwavering belief, and this is the only way that dreams are ever going to be realised for people in this industry. You know, you've got to have an emotional why. You know, for me, my emotional why was huge. I rode on my mother's coattails for 10 years. I was her apprentice. You know, I was following her. I had the easiest ride. I had no pressure on because I had a champion that I was working with. But in the end, I realised, you know, as I matured, that I had a big emotional why. I wanted to be able to be the father for my kids and my family that unfortunately I never had the opportunity to enjoy. I wasn't going to feel sad and sorry and upset about it. I was going to do something about it, just like my mum did something about her circumstances as well. How can you be your best on a bad day? It's that emotional why. If you're not, then you need to find, you know, a bigger emotional why. That is the thing that really drives you. That's the thing that will make you special and different. You need to be able to absolutely fight for your future no matter what. And at the same time, you're going to be fighting for the future of many, many other people. You don't need someone that's got to keep pumping up your tyre each and every day. You've got to be someone that can be self-sustaining. You know, we hear that thing about self-motivation. It's simple, but why don't more people embrace that? You need to have a plan. You need to know that if you want to be your best, you cannot be your best on your own. As a network marketer, you need to be someone of influence that can draw in people around you and help a community of people also succeed. If you can build a team, if you can build a culture, then you can be your best. Guys, how many people here in the room are part of the JFire international community? JFire China, all the JFire, stand up please, guys. Have a look around the room. The only reason I'm on this stage, Susan Lan is on this stage, Aaron Craig is on this stage, Angela Licenti is on this stage, is that one thing that we've all done very well is, as a group of leaders, we've built a community and a culture. Just have a look around the room. You know, that old acronym, together, everyone achieves more. I don't want to be a networker that has my own identity. I want to share everything that I do with everyone else, and I embrace all of the leaders that we have here in JFire International that also think exactly the same way. So thank you, guys. You know, you want to reassess and realign your efforts weekly. Sometimes you've got to recalibrate and make sure that you've got someone in the ring with you. Have someone else to fight with you. I'm sure you've seen all the antics of Aaron, Craig and I. Many of you think we're a bit crazy, but we've had some really challenging times. But to be able to fight together, we make it fun. We're serious, but also it makes it fun. Never ever stop prospecting. This is the greatest act of leadership for a network marketer. The minute you stop sharing the message, you're starting to disbelieve it yourself. Prospecting has to be your number one objective. Focusing on warm market, the referrals from your warm market, and then think about smart cold market, people that are going to have a high likelihood of building a network marketing business. Start at home. You know, start in your own backyard. You look at the incredible origins of JFire International, start in Melbourne. A meeting of, 30-odd people. Nothing big. One or two big leaders come along, like Angela Licenti, and next minute it started a revolution. You've got to realise in this industry, you can start a revolution with one enrolment. Can you believe long enough to attract that person, someone like an Angela Licenti? You know, someone that's going to become like a leader magnet, a team magnet. Build locally. Make a success in the city that you live. Your business will go national. And before not, it'll go international as well. Think about building with depth. Your most important people that you find in your business are obviously the people that you personally enroll. You've got to take on that number one responsibility yourself. But your goal is to find your 10 leaders. If you can find your 10 key leaders, that may be, or will be, more than enough for you to get to diamond. See, if I surveyed every single diamond in Jeunesse, this is an interesting thing. We get caught up with the real big numbers. You know, how many people do I need to enroll? 100, 200, 300, 400, 300,000 people in your team. We're thinking about big numbers. But you know the numbers that count are actually the small numbers, not the big numbers. If you take every single diamond in Jeunesse, remove their 10 most important enrolments, guess what happens to every single diamond in Jeunesse? There are no more diamonds. 10 key people. Can you be someone who can commit to your trade to attract and find those 10 key people? The only way it's going to happen is to build a team, to develop a culture. And if you can get someone to work, a team to work in unison, you create your own J-Fire International. You create your own movement. And that's when all of a sudden your business becomes incredibly efficient. You've got to be a pro, guys. You heard Dennis Windsor talking before about network marketing. You've got to be someone that's out there bold and strong and actually believes that this is an industry to be proud of. And if you're someone that cringes when you're asked that question, what do you do? Or you come around with 10 different flowery responses with how you answer that feed question, deal with it, guys. I love it when people ask me about what I do. And I love it even more when they think what I do is silly. Because it's a conversation that very quickly doesn't go in the direction that they think it's going to go. Guys, you want to embrace the low numbers. You know, being a professional in this industry is being patient enough to find those key 10 leaders. But remember, the best people that you want to enroll don't want to end up being hunted and put as a trophy on a mantelpiece. These people are looking for an equal. They're looking for people that they respect. They're looking for people that have got a bit of ticker and intestinal fortitude that know that when times get tough, they're going to still be there. They're going to still be professional. They're going to still work hard even on a bad day. Challenge yourself continually. I mentioned before, build locally, you'll move nationally, go internationally. That's the greatest joy in this business. Because I'm like Dennis, I love people. You know, I love being able to have the honour of travelling the world and you know, meeting people of all different cultures and creeds and religions. And I've had, you know, life experiences that make me feel, you know, very wealthy. If you want to build globally, you've got to first have that success locally. That'll give you the credibility to expand all around the world. That's kind of a year in my life. Moscow, Nigeria, Philippines, Russia, all over the place. And I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Also, when you're challenging yourself, please be humble enough to be a student. What I did for Susan Land was tiny. 2%. What Susan Land did for Susan Land was 98%. I just had the luxury of having someone who was an incredible student, someone who was incredibly coachable, but she took that information, ran with it, and committed it, you know, with her business. Challenge yourself to not have that ego where you think you're an expert right from the beginning. Look at the experts that have actually done it and be humble enough to listen to what they have to say. Find someone that you respect. If you haven't got someone like that right now, find someone. Dig deeper through your team. Have ambitions to be a presenter. If you want to influence more people, you need to be a presenter. You need to also get to the point where you're able to train. To be able to train people, it requires credibility. Don't become a premature network marketing trainer before you're earning or reaching some of your goals in this industry. You need to be an inspiration for others. That is the single most important ingredient for a top-line network marketer. Influence. Can you influence and inspire other people? The only way you can do it is by your own actions. Be realistic, be authentic, be honest. I mean, the 3 C's for me is someone who is cool, calm and collected, comfortable in their own skin as a network marketer. Humility will enrol more people for you than boastful exaggeration. Smart leaders out there, the people that you want to enrol, if you love embracing social media, they can spot the fakes. They can spot the people that aren't real. So don't be that used car salesman. Don't be that person that over-exaggerates. Be someone that's real, complex, intriguing, someone that people want to get to know more. Your time, is precious. What you need to do is to put the majority of your time into prospecting. The greatest activity that you have to build a business is to enrol people, to share that story about what this incredible opportunity is. Number two, it's events. Put people in an environment where the story that you tell them can be qualified by a room full of enthusiastic people. Stand up, everyone here in the room that lives in a major city here in Australia. Not a smaller city, but your Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide, Auckland, Christchurch, Gold Coast. I want you to sit down if you haven't been to a live event in the last month in your city. If you can sit down. All right, we've lost half our audience. I want you to sit down if you haven't been to a live event in your city in the last 2 months. I want you to sit down if you haven't been to a live event in your city in the last 3 months. 4 months. 5 months. 6 months. I want you to stay standing if you've never missed one of your regular monthly events for the whole year. Never missed. I want you to stay standing if you've not only been to your major event in your city, but you've also gone to others outside your city. Stay standing. I want you to stay standing if you go to at least, on average, 3 events per month. Now, guys, I want you to look around the room. We've done simple elimination. Do you see that events work? Of about 90% of the people that are still standing are probably the highest income earners here in Jeunesse. Does it make sense? Take a seat, guys. You know what? If you're serious about building this business, you've got to have a course of action that you're never going to change. If you have sold to yourself that events have limited value, that are not worth turning up to, that are not worth taking people to, what are you doing? You're destroying your business. They are singly the most influential location where someone is going to make the decision to build a big business here in Jeunesse. So if you have leaders that are travelling interstate, that are coming there to help in your area to have events, please value them. Pass that culture down to your team. It's one big thing that Susan has done, and that's one of the reasons why she's growing so fast. Be aware of the social media trap, guys. There are a lot of people here that are sapphire, wanting to get to the next level. They're putting 50%, 60% of their time into social media and putting their name out there. Guys, 90% of all enrolments in network marketing come from face-to-face contact or over the telephone. If that's where 90% of them come, please put 90% of your time into that avenue. There aren't many social media diamonds in Jeunesse. In fact, I don't even think there's one. You can certainly use it to locate and find people, but you need to be what diamonds want to see. Use social media as social proof. All of the people that were standing up, being at these meetings all around Australia, I tell you what, I'm sure they're putting on Facebook photographs showing that they're always there. They can always be counted on. They don't pull out at the last minute. They don't find the easy excuses. Rain won't deter them in getting to a meeting. Leaders will spot those superficial fakes. So the right image you want to put on social media is images of your success, your social proof, your commitment, how it's helping your family, the team that you're working with, showing that you're genuine and real. Don't be the networker that just puts up aimless selfies. Put up pictures showing that you're involved, that you're engaged, that you're part of the business. Don't keep taking photographs of you standing beside a Lamborghini that you don't own. Be real, guys. Social media is such a security blanket that is crippling people from ever reaching their levels of success. It is one huge, big con. Use it properly, guys. Establish relationships everywhere. In the end, if you can't establish relationships, if you can't create real bonds with other people, network marketing is just not going to happen for you. Guys, you need to be real. You need to be authentic. You'll get confident referrals, sometimes from people you've got a great relationship with that are not necessarily going to build a business. But you've got to hang in there, guys. You've got to get personal. You've got to get real and understand that it takes time. The lady that Craig had on stage yesterday, Thelma Ong, was the result of a relationship of 2 or 3 years, of which for 1 whole year she said no to Craig repeatedly in joining. But because the relationship was strong, eventually when circumstances changed, she put up her hand and said, yes, I'm in. If Craig was impatient, if Craig didn't believe in the power of a relationship, half of the Philippines wouldn't even exist in Jeunesse today. Remember, is it the big numbers or is it the small numbers? Embrace the power of one. One is the most important number in network marketing. One conversation, one enrollment, one distributor, one leader, one sapphire. It's one. If you can do the best job with one, you'll do the best job with many. This will never change from being a relationship industry. If you're not excited to jump into the trenches, to get down and dirty, to revel in someone's successes, but also to stand by someone through their challenges and their heartbreak, then again, this industry is not for you. You've got to be that person who's absolutely determined to create value for other people. If you're so fixated to create value more for people around you than you yourself, then you've got diamond within you. Have you got a lot out of this weekend? You enjoyed it? Do you think that Jeunesse Global is a company of destiny? Do you think what Jeunesse has achieved over the last 6 years was not an accident? Do you think how this company was put together, that it just might have something special? Do you think this is a company of destiny? Well, guys, if you absolutely believe it, you're going to make it your destiny. How many people here in the room believe that your destiny can be achieved through what we have at Jeunesse? Stand up for me, guys. If you believe that this is your destiny, guys, you need this ingredient. Can you maintain your course of action? Most people here in the room would say, I know what to do. I've been taught what to do. I've seen what other people have done to get to where I need to go. Can you maintain that course of action? Who can do that? Raise their hands. Are there going to be times when it's going to be tough? Are there going to be times when you're going to want to quit? Are there going to be times when you're going to have self-doubt? Yes. But in the end, if you're going to achieve your destiny, the key is, guys, all of those things are never going to change for your whole career. But you have to be that person that makes the decision that you're going to be your champion on a good day and even on a bad day. You're still going to be that champion of your destiny. Guys, please embrace your destiny. Take what you've learnt from this amazing event over this weekend and use it to change your life while also changing the lives of people all around you. Thank you very much. It's an honour to be here.